Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the truly wild story of a career criminal whose 69th birthday party, well, it involved handcuffs, a stolen Rolex, and a very talented backside. This is the tale of Slippery Slade's most legendary heist yet.
Okay, let's just start with the man's personal philosophy here. For Silas Slippery Slade, crime, it isn't just a job. Oh no, it's a tradition, a legacy he feels like he has to honor with every single trip down to the precinct.
So who is this guy, the self-proclaimed world's most dishonest man? Well, meet Silas Slade. He's this lanky thief from Kansas, and honestly, his entire life has been one long, dedicated masterclass in the art of the five-finger discount.
He just celebrated his 69th birthday. You know, for most of us, that means a quiet dinner, maybe some cake with the family. But for Slade, nah. It meant celebrating with a crime so absolutely audacious, it was going to go down in local history.
And listen, this birthday stunt, it was hardly his first rodeo. He was actually his 679th arrest, to be precise, and his specialty? Well, the authorities call it petty pilfering, and that covers everything from stealing gum to, and I'm not making this up, this is from the police report, grandma's garters.
Okay, so the stage for this whole birthday caper? A local Walgreens. Slade wasn't there to pick up a prescription, of course. He was just doing a little birthday browsing. He got caught trying to stuff stolen Slim Jims into birthday balloons for what he called a festive flourish. And, well, that's when things really took a turn.
So, as the arresting officer Dirk Donovan is cuffing him, he gets to experience Slade's signature move firsthand. Right in the middle of the arrest, Slade somehow performs this little magic trick, and suddenly the officer's wrist feels a whole lot lighter.
So, how do you pull it off? It's pretty amazing. As Officer Donovan's putting the cuffs on, Slade creates just enough of a distraction to slither the $12,000 Rolex right off his wrist. The officer later said Slade has hands like Houdini on hormones. Can you even imagine?
But you know what? Stealing a Rolex while getting handcuffed, that was just the warm-up act. Seriously, the main event was still to come, and it involved let's just say, a very unconventional application of force.
So as they're escorting Slade to the squad car, a pretty frustrated Officer Donovan gives him what he later called a friendly disciplinary donkey kick to the rear. Look, it was a moment of pure frustration for the cop, right? But for Slade, it was a golden opportunity.
And that's the key thing here. This wasn't just a kick, it was an opening. For a guy with Slade's, let's call them unique set of skills, pretty much any physical contact is an invitation to pull off another heist.
Okay, this is where the story just goes off the rails into unbelievable territory. At the exact moment the officer's foot makes contact, Slade clenches. And in his own words, he snatched the officer's size 11 loafer clean off his foot using only his butt. He actually called it a birthday gift from the boys in blue. No joke.
You can probably imagine, the legal system was just completely baffled. I mean, how do you even prosecute a man for stealing a shoe with his rear end? The case of the butt-bootied Brogan, as it was called, instantly became the talk of the entire town.
And the courtroom battle that followed? Oh, it was just as absurd as the crime itself. Slade's public defender argued it was geriatric gallantry. You know, a career milestone that deserved a medal. But the prosecution, they weren't having it. They filed charges for cheeky chicanery and posterior pilfering.
And the story doesn't even stop there. This whole caper earned Slade a bizarre sort of cult following. Supporters actually staged a sit-in outside the police station chanting, "Hands off his hams." They were even selling Slade sneakers, which were, of course, just other stolen loafers. Naturally.
So, what does the man at the center of this whole circus have to say about his legacy? Well, from his jail cell, Slade is just as dedicated to his craft as ever. He's already looking ahead.
Yeah, Slade is completely unrepentant. He's already planning his 70th birthday celebration, 70 heists for 70 years. See, in his mind, he's not a criminal. He's just the world's most dedicated professional in his chosen field. The police, on the other hand, they've learned their lesson. The Kansas constables, totally blindsided by Slade's unique talents, now have a brand new protocol just for dealing with him. Their plan for his next arrest? Simple. They're cuffing the caboose.
So after all this, 679 arrests, a stolen Rolex, and a loafer snatched by a butt, you gotta ask yourself,
Is Slippery Slade just a petty criminal with a really weird gimmick, or is he some kind of bizarre performance artist whose medium just happens to be larceny?